as a writer and producer on the new Star Trek films and Cowboys and Aliens, you certainly know a thing or two about making first-rate science fiction. Now, this novel came out in 1985. Why did you want to be part of finally bringing it to the big screen?
Because I read it shortly after it came out as a kid, and I remember it really spoke to me. I loved that it was complicated and didn't talk down to me as a young reader. And then to find myself in this business and found out that it still hadn't been made, I couldn't resist trying to work on it, and it's sort of a childhood dream to actually get it made.
And Harrison, your character, Colonel Graff, is grappling with some seriously complex moral issues, I think, isn't he? Too much for one of his colleagues. Very thought-provoking for me as a viewer as well. What were the draws for you of this role?
I recognized some very true emotional moments in it. I recognized the value of the character to the telling of the story overall. I saw that there were ambitious people, enormously talented people involved. And it was different to what I've lately done. And I thought overall all of these elements of a recipe, if all the visual elements of it turned out, it would make a great movie. I wanted to be part of a great movie.
We even paid him.
Yeah. And then there was the money.
There's a paycheck. And it is hugely entertaining, but I think it has something serious to say as well. There's a lot of talk in the media about drone warfare, for instance. What do you think it has to say about to today's audiences, 2013?
Well, I'm not prone to wanting to pronounce the message of a film. I think it's an individual experience. I think there is both a common experience if you see it in a theater and you feel it with a bunch of other people in a dark room. Then there's that part of it, and then you go away with your own individual experience and your own individual thoughts about it. I think it's a very good family film. I would love to see kids and parents be able to go to this film together, and I think it would generate some dialogue that would be useful to both parents and young people.
And a massive search has gone on in the film to find someone to save humankind. How was the search to find Asa Butterfield to play Ender Wiggin? And what did you enjoy about seeing him paired with Harrison?
The search for Asa was equally difficult as what Harrison goes through in the movie in terms of finding the right person. The character of Ender has to have an intelligence behind his eyes that's very difficult to fake, but he's got to have an empathy and a compassion. And finding that in one actor was just a great stroke of luck. But we searched far and wide, and seeing them together, it's interesting. We shot the movie in sequence, and little Asa grows 2 inches through the movie, and he starts off, in battle school with Colonel Graff. Very intimidated, and by the end has to rise to the challenge of being able to not only fulfill Colonel Graff's expectations, but also disagree with him potentially. And so, finding an actor who could do that was a godsend.
We've seen him in Hugo, of course, in The Boy with the Striped Pajamas. What did you admire about his approach to the role and enjoy about working with him as a scene partner?
His simplicity, his focus, his work ethic, his intelligence, his emotional availability. Other than that, I saw nothing at all.
The film looks incredible, as we said, particularly the battle room. The view from Earth is just so breathtaking. How proud are you with the visual effects that you've achieved with the film, and some innovations there, I'm sure?
You'll see that Digital Main is a producing partner on this movie, and that's because they were in it from the very beginning. They, I think, were filled with fans of the book, as many of the people who work in this movie are, and you see it on the screen. It really is top-notch effects, and you don't want to get lost in the effects, but you want the effects to support the human story. But nonetheless, it's still a grand spectacle.
And how impressed were you, Harrison, by the attention to detail of the production design, costumes, and the effects, of course, in the finished product?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm always looking for ambitious people to work with, and my faith that they were ambitious has been borne out by the work that they've done.
And of course associated with Star Wars and Blade Runner, two of our two genre-defining science fiction movies. how would you like to see Ender's Game sort of thought of as a sci-fi film?
Well, as Bob knows, I would love to see it make hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I would like it to enjoy the same kind of success. Of course, you want your efforts to be rewarded, your work to be rewarded, and I'm hopeful that an audience will embrace the story. But a lot of the pleasure of my life is simply doing the work, and it was a pleasure to work with these people, with Bob and his crew, and the director Gavin and the other actors. It really was a very generous atmosphere, and I was very happy to be there.
Harrison Ford, Bob Orci, thanks very much.
Thank you.